All right, so Valentine's Day is coming up,
Mhm.
and you want to do something really special.
Yeah,
The usual flowers and chocolates are nice,
sure.
but we're diving into some source material today that suggests something totally different.
Yeah, okay.
A cedar cabin getaway vibe.
Interesting.
And the best part is you can actually pull this off right at home.
Oh, wow, that's neat.
Yeah.
So these sources, they really emphasize creating an experience,
Okay.
not just going through the motions, you know?
Yeah.
They're all about building lasting memories, not just fleeting gestures.
Right.
One even suggests trying to recapture that spark from the early days of your relationship when everything felt new and exciting.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, let's unpack this cedar cabin vibe.
sure.
What exactly does that look like, and how do we bring it to life in our own homes?
Well, imagine a space that's both cozy and adventurous, intimate, but with a touch of rustic charm.
Okay.
Think warm wood tones, soft lighting,
Yeah.
and textures that make you want to curl up and get comfortable. The sources suggest incorporating elements like plush fabrics,
Okay.
silk velvet cashmere,
Yeah.
anything that adds a sense of luxury and warmth.
So it's about creating a sensory experience, right?
Exactly.
Not just what you see, but what you touch and feel.
Yes. And don't forget about scent.
Oh, right.
The sources recommend using candles or diffusers with woodsy scents,
Okay.
like cedarwood, pine, or sandalwood, to really transport you to that cabin setting.
It's like bringing the outdoors in, even if you're miles away from an actual forest.
That's the idea.
Now, one thing that really struck me was this idea of using the at-home cabin experience as a kind of test run
Yeah,
for maybe designing a cedar home in the future.
right.
Is that really what they're suggesting?
That's one of the more intriguing threads that runs through these sources.
Wow.
They suggest that by immersing yourself in this ambiance,
Okay.
even just for a night, you can start to get a feel for what elements you truly love
Yeah.
and what might work for a more permanent space.
So it's like a romantic Valentine's Day celebration that doubles as an inspiration board for your dream home.
Precisely. Pay attention to what makes you feel most relaxed.
Okay.
What kind of lighting creates the most romantic mood? What activities you enjoy most in this setting?
Right.
It's all valuable data for designing a space that truly reflects your style and values as a couple.
Here's where it gets really interesting for me. One source talks about the importance of disconnecting from technology
Yeah.
to enhance intimacy
Uh-huh.
in a world that's always plugged in that feels almost revolutionary.
It is a powerful idea.
Yeah.
In a cabin setting, you're naturally more inclined to unplug and reconnect with nature and each other.
Right.
But the sources suggest we can intentionally create that same sense of presence and connection, even in our tech-filled homes.
So how do we actually do that?
Yeah.
Do we need to go full-on digital detox?
Not necessarily.
Or are there more subtle ways to create those tech-free zones?
The sources offer a range of approaches. One suggests designating specific areas or times as tech-free, like the bedroom or during meal times. Others suggest simply being more mindful of your tech usage
Right.
and making a conscious effort to put your phone away
Yeah.
and engage fully in the present moment.
I love that. It's not about demonizing technology, but about using it intentionally
Yeah.
and creating space for those genuine tech-free connections.
Exactly.
And that ultimately is what these sources are all about.
Yeah.
Creating a Valentine's Day experience that is meaningful, memorable, and truly reflective of your connection as a couple.
I agree.
Okay, so we've got the overall vibe down,
Right.
but how do we actually translate that into a specific plan for Valentine's Day?
Well,
What are some concrete things we can do to bring this cedar cabin magic to life at home?
let's get into that. Welcome back to our deep dive into a cedar cabin Valentine's Day.
I'm already feeling inspired to ditch the usual routine and try something completely different this year.
Excellent. Let's delve into some specific ways to make that happen. Remember, we're not just talking about decorating. We're
Right.
talking about crafting an experience.
Okay, so how do we go beyond just the visual aspects?
Well, think about the activities you might enjoy in a real cedar cabin.
Okay.
The sources highlight things like fireside chats, board games, even stargazing.
Okay.
All things you can easily recreate at home.
A fireside evening sounds so cozy and romantic.
It is.
But what if you don't have a fireplace?
Get creative.
Yeah.
One source suggests arranging candles
Okay.
in a way that mimics the flicker of a fireplace.
Oh, that's cool.
Drape some blankets over chairs to create a cozy nook.
Yeah.
Maybe play some crackling fire sounds in the background for added ambiance.
Oh, I like that. And the s'mores are a must, right?
Absolutely. There's something about that combination of chocolate graham crackers and gooey marshmallow that just screams cabin life.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a fun and delicious way to tap into that sense of nostalgia and simple pleasures.
I love that. And what about those other activities? What are some ways to make them extra special?
One source suggests choosing a board game or a card game that you haven't played in a while.
Oh,
Something that brings back fond memories or allows you to learn something new together.
it's about rediscovering those shared interests and having fun together, right?
Exactly. And for stargazing, you don't need any fancy equipment.
Okay, cool.
Just find a spot with minimal light pollution, your backyard, a nearby park.
Right.
Spread out a blanket and look up at the stars. You can even download a constellation app to help you identify what you're seeing.
It's about taking a moment to appreciate the beauty and wonder of the natural world, even if you're in the middle of a city.
Yeah, and one activity that really stood out to me was this idea of creating a time capsule together.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
What exactly goes into a Valentine's Day time capsule?
It could be anything that represents your relationship.
Okay.
Photos, ticket stubs from memorable dates, handwritten letters expressing your love and appreciation.
It's like creating a tangible reminder of your love story.
Precisely. And the sources suggest burying it in your backyard or hiding it away somewhere special to be open on a future anniversary.
I love that. Okay, so we've covered some great activity ideas.
Right.
But one thing I'm still curious about is this concept of using the Valentine's Day cabin experience as a preview for a future cedar home.
Right. It's not just about creating a fun evening. It's about using this experience to tap into your shared dreams and aspirations.
So how do we actually do that? What should we be paying attention to during our at-home cabin experience?
Notice what elements you're drawn to. Is it the warmth of the wood tones, the softness of the lighting, the coziness of the textures?
It's like taking mental notes for your dream home design.
Yeah.
What else should we be considering?
Think about the flow of the space. How do you move through it? Where do you naturally gravitate to? What activities feel most enjoyable in this setting?
It's about paying attention to how the space makes you feel.
And if you really want to take this test run to the next level, one source suggests actually renting a cedar cabin for a night or two.
That's a great idea. It's like a real-life trial run for the cedar home lifestyle.
Exactly. And it gives you a chance to experience the unique charm of a cedar cabin firsthand.
Yeah.
To see if it truly aligns with your vision for the future.
Now, speaking of real cedar cabins, what if we decide to go for the full experience and rent one? What are some key things we should be looking for?
That's a great question. Luckily, the source material provides some specific guidance on this front.
Okay, I'm all ears. Spill the details. What are those must-have features for the ultimate cedar cabin getaway?
So we talked about those must-have features for the ultimate cedar cabin getaway.
Yeah, what are they?
According to the sources, a private deck is key.
Okay.
Imagine sipping coffee as the sun rises.
Ah, yeah.
Or stargazing with a glass of wine in hand.
That does sound really nice.
Right. The luxurious tub is another feature.
Oh, yeah.
Soaking in a warm bath after a day of exploring nature sounds amazing.
It does.
And of course, a fireplace.
Can't forget that.
It creates warmth and that cozy cabin ambiance. They also recommend looking for a cabin with a kitchenette.
Okay.
So you can prepare some romantic meals together.
Well, that's a nice touch.
Right. And lastly, scenic woodland views.
Oh, yeah.
Being surrounded by the beauty of nature is really what makes a cabin getaway so special.
It really enhances that feeling of escape, doesn't it?
It really does.
You know, thinking about all this, it's really making me realize that this Valentine's Day is about more than just a single day.
Yeah.
It's about creating an adventurous, memorable experience that goes beyond the ordinary.
That's the heart of it.
And it sounds like the key is to be creative, playful, and focused on connecting with our partner in unique ways.
That's what the sources emphasize.
So it sounds like whether you're planning an elaborate cabin getaway or just a cozy night in,
Yeah,
the most important thing is to put thought and effort into creating something special,
I agree.
something that reflects your unique relationship.
That makes sense.
Now that you've glimpsed the possibilities of a cedar cabin, Valentine's Day, what unique touches will you bring to create lasting memories?
That's a great question for our listeners to consider.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts and ideas.
We'd love to hear them.
Because ultimately, it's your personal touch that will make this Valentine's Day truly special.
I agree.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of cedar cabin romance.
And it was a pleasure.
Until next time, happy adventuring.
Take care.